Great day to be alive. Wonderful day, wonderful day. It's a day Jehovah has made, and we're going to have great impact from him today. Second Corinthians chapter 12, verse 6, I'm going to read down. And it says, "For though I would desire to glory, I shall not be a fool, for I will say the truth. But now I forbear, lest any man should think of me above that which he seeth me to be, or that he heareth of me. Unless I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of the revelations, there was given to me a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Satan to buffet me, lest I should be exalted above measure. For this thing I besought the Lord thrice, that it should depart from me, it might depart from me. And he said unto me, My grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Christ may rest upon me." Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Did you ever notice something that in the workings of the Lord, you will notice that God basically picks men and makes them champion where they failed before. God basically picks men out of their weakness, he builds strength, and takes them to a place where they will manifest his glory. And most of the time, where they will manifest his glory is situations where they were failures before. He picks failures and makes them champion in the theater of failure. Past failure, I meant. I mean, why would he send Moses back to Egypt? He did that, He ran away because he saw destiny fail. The children of Israel rejected him. He ran away. When he ran away, he was a general at the peak of his normal human capacity. The knowledge of Egypt was there. The technology of Egypt was there. He ran away. God took him and broke him down into a shepherd and sent him back to that same place, to the same people that rejected him, to the same environment. Say, go back there. I said, now go back to Egypt and bring my people out. The place of defeat became a theater of victory. He said, go back there. But actually, the theater of victory was with the Lord. The manifestation of victory was with Egypt. It was when the Lord encountered him, that's when he made the theater of victory. It manifested in Egypt. So he sent him back there. I mean, why again would God demand that Joseph bless his brothers? His brothers drove him away. They said, you're not going to be king over us. You're not going to be ruler over us. So they drove him away to Egypt, to slavery and so on. And you know what happened? But at the end of the day, God said, you're going to bless them. The same people that rejected you, the same place. He said, call them now to Egypt and bless them and bless their generations and sustain them. Why does he do that? Have you ever wondered why he went and met Gideon? Gideon was busy hiding food, grain from the Midianites. And in that place of encounter, the angel of God looked at him and said, thou mighty man of valor. I mean, Gideon was anything but a mighty man of valor at that particular point in time. He wasn't a mighty man of valor. I mean, he was hiding grain. But there was something God saw that he could put into him. There was something God wanted to him. And by the statement of the Lord, that mighty man of valor became a mighty man of valor. And with that his might, things happened. Changes took place. He built strength again out of weakness. Look at David. I mean, if you want to send a man on an assignment, and you need to send him with an assistance, men who will make him victorious. You will get the best qualified men. You will get We get men who have the Harvard degree, the orators of the day, the gifted men, you need the best offs, you need the fighters, the giants. But who did the Lord gather first unto David? Scripture says men who had issues, men who had debt, the dregs of society. And those particular men formed the foundation of everything that he did. They were his foundation. But what of the Lord? Look at the 12 disciples. There was no orator amongst them, no member of the Sanhedrin, no philosopher amongst them, 4 fishermen. I mean, get a good CEO now and give him such men, and he will tell you, this thing is not going to work. When you recruit, you don't go for things don't go for stuffs like that. But when God recruits, God looks for men who know that they are weak and are ready to exchange their strength, their weakness with his strength. God looks for men who understand I'm weak, and you are willing to exchange that weakness with his strength. Paul said, when I'm weak, then I'm strong. Because an exchange can take place then. It is when you realize your weakness, when you understand you are weak, that's the only way you can lean on the arm of the Lord. That's the only way you can now come and say, Lord, I exchange strength. You can't exchange strength when you think you are strong. You can't exchange strength when you believe that you can get it done. So he got 4 fishermen with him. 4 fishermen. And mind you, one of them was a thief. The other one was a tax collector. He didn't have a very good reputation. One of them was one that is given to doubt, Thomas. So if you look at this congregation, you just say, boy, this thing will not work. But these were the arrowheads, these were the foundation of a ministry that we are gaining impact now today. Child of God, what am I saying? There's hope for you. There is hope for you. You know what he said? Well, we read. He said, my grace is made perfect in weakness. My grace is, many of us give up because say I'm weak. But that is what you present, that weakness to the Lord. Present that failure to that. God specializes in working with weak things to develop awesome stuff. Don't be moved by your weaknesses. Change your weakness. Come to the Lord with your weakness. He said, when I'm weak, then I'm strong. Some people, they don't come to the Lord because they are proud. They want to get it done before they approach the Lord. They want to come perfect with the Lord. You know what God calls that? That's legalism. God calls that legalism. He said, I don't want that. He said, all your righteousness like filthy rags is for me. I don't want that. He said, I want men who are weak. I want men who know they are weak. I want men who understand the aspect of their weakness and they are willing to exchange their strength. He said, it is such men that I will build anything that needs to be built. He said, if I can get such men, yielded vessels, anything can be done. Child of God, there's hope for you. There is hope for you. Exchange your strength. Come to the Lord today. Don't be upset. We say, Pastor, you don't know how many times I failed. Bring that failure to the Lord. That thing, bring it to the Lord. The Lord spoke to Moses in the wilderness. He said, what is that thing in your hand? There's something in your hand. Bring it to the Lord. He will use it. He will turn it around. And your life will never remain the same again. God bless you.